The war goes on. I gotta tell you this, the football transfer war, which sadly the world has bigger issues.
Hello and welcome to MUFC Realist TV with your weekly transfer bombast and update with my special guest Alfredo Pedullà. My name is Mick Ruby and in today's episode we have a treat for you. We have a jam-packed exclusive transfer news regarding Manchester United's summer transfer business. We're talking about, of course, the ins and the outs. So in the studio we have Alfredo Pedullà back to give you the exclusive information about Jadon Sancho potentially moved to Fenerbahce or Inter Milan, Dusan Vlahovic and Jadon Sancho swap deal rumors, Rasmus Højlund to Inter Milan latest, Marcus Rashford to Barcelona update, the goalkeeping situation, Diego Costa from Porto and Marco Carnesecchi from Atalanta. We're going to talk about the latest updates, of course, regarding the striker position, Viktor Gyökeres, and another surprise striker target that Manchester United are linked to. But before we kick on the show, please do not forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell button and leave your comment. And let's dive right into the show. Let's ride this transfer bullet and send it.
And Garnacho!
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Will he be in the dugout at Old Trafford on Sunday? I will be here. Definitely.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go, people. Ciao, ciao, Italia, and welcome back, Alfredo Pedullà. Welcome back to MUFC Realist TV yet again for our second show, my friend. How have you been?
Sto bene perché in Italia fa molto freddo. I'm good because it's really cold in Italy. Just kidding, it's incredibly hot, but you have to stay well because the market temperatures are boiling too.
It's a pleasure, as per usual, to have you back, Alfredo, and to hear that you're okay. After all, it's a mad, silly transfer season, so I appreciate you taking the time. So let's dive right into the questions that we have today and your potential exclusive story that you have on Jadon Sancho exit from Manchester United. The first question from our viewers, Alfredo, is what is the latest updates on Jadon Sancho? Is Juventus bidding for him? And how advanced is the Fenerbahce rumors? Who is currently leading the race and who can actually afford his wages? And Manchester United's asking price, Alfredo?
The truth is, Juventus is after him. They've been the Italian club sticking with Sancho for the past 4 days. Juventus is definitely on it, and right now we need to move forward carefully because the transfer fee sits around 25 million euros. But there's definitely the issue with the wage that complicates things. Juventus is really trying to push ahead, and it's true that he has offers from Fenerbahce as well as from Rabona, but those offers are currently stalled and not progressing. So we need to keep a close eye on this situation, just like we've been doing with Rashford, Nico Williams, and others who are developing well. It seems like the right moment to update on Højlund's situation soon because there's a lot happening around these transfers that we need to monitor closely.
Wow, that is a big bomb, Alfredo. I do, however, have a follow-up question. I want to confirm a story regarding Dusan Vlahovic to Manchester United and a potential swap deal for Sancho. Is this anything in this or just speculations? Alfredo.
Right now, we're just talking rumors. He hasn't been great even if he scored in the last match. Remember, his salary is 12 million in the final year. The transfer fee is doable at 25 million. And swaps are often mentioned. I don't rule out exchanges, but he's basically on standby. United's already got strikers, and then there's this wild battle over Carroll from Gyökeres. But again, Juventus is only considering how to convince and find a deal for Sancho at this point.
Okay, well, thanks for the clarity. We have another question for you, Alfredo, regarding our viewers. Last week, we spoke about Rasmus Højlund. Have there been any new developments as we keep hearing reports that Inter Milan is in negotiations with Højlund? What is the latest, Alfredo?
Look, I've never really been that keen on Højlund. Honestly, I don't like it when a striker gets linked to too many clubs. Højlund has been linked to Juventus, Napoli and Inter in Italy this past month, mostly strongly to Inter, but I prefer to talk about concrete stuff. The concrete thing for Inter is Pio Esposito. Pio Esposito was outstanding in the last match. He scored, no doubt, but more importantly, he showed his truly Inter material. Remember, Inter is closing the Boni deal. They have Thuram, Lautaro, Boni, and are backing Pio Esposito as a future star. Bringing in Højlund shows a serious investment to strengthen the team. Today and even yesterday, this wasn't a hot lead or something they felt urgent about. It was more an idea they chose not to push right now. They're focused on closing the Bonnie deal soon. So while there's hype around Oilen, it seems he'll likely take his time, deciding his next move further down the road instead of rushing anything prematurely.
Okay, very interesting regarding Rasmus Højlund. Just let's see what will happen. We have another question from our viewers, and now a lot of fans are asking regarding what's going on with Marcus Rashford and Barcelona. We've seen reports this week that Barcelona wants a loan deal. What is the situation with Marcus Rashford and Barcelona, and what do you think will happen, Alfredo?
Look, having checked the latest updates on Barcelona's dashboard just recently, it's all pretty straightforward and quite clear what's going on at the moment. The Liga reps and Barcelona are keen on Nico Williams. He's fully committed to moving, even rejecting other offers. But transfer talks must be followed closely because surprises can happen and change everything. Even Deco himself, the sporting director of Barcelona, hasn't ruled out the Rashford possibility. If it were up to Rashford, who earns a ton already, he'd be at Barcelona by now. But clearly, he has to wait. He's set aside other offers, and while there's been whispering about some mild interest from Italy, I haven't seen anything solid, especially considering his huge salary. It's tough to imagine Barcelona signing two wingers. Now, with Yamal and Rafinha already on board, and considering the option of Nico in the mix as well, Rashford definitely still has to hold on to hope, even though it's a tight race and things could shift at any moment. Right now, Barcelona is focusing on Nico Williams. After long talks, they see him as key to fulfilling Flick's plans and completing the forward line perfectly. Until that deal is done, Rashford holds on tightly. He's still in the mix. Deco is a great player and a big asset, but I won't speculate beyond what's official now.
Okay, cool. That's definitely one to watch then. Alfredo, let's talk about the incoming players. Since our last episode that we did, I have been getting a lot of questions regarding the goalkeepers. My follow-up question to you, there's been heavily reports, including yourself, that Manchester United are interested in a new goalkeeper. Last week you mentioned Marco Carnesecchi from Atalanta, and this week we hear that Ruben Amorim wants Diego Costa or Milinkovic-Savic. Surely Onana is on his way out. Can you tell me and the Manchester United fans what is the latest regarding the goalkeeping situation, Alfredo?
I've updated this in the last few hours. There were definitely contacts, I guarantee you 100%, with the middleman involved in the operation. Relations between Atalanta and Manchester United are quite good, and actually there are more candidates, maybe even a few more than you've mentioned before. Manchester United values him around 40 million. For Atalanta, 40 could be a base, but with some easy bonuses. Want Milinkovic-Savic and are ready to pay the 20 million foreign clause, but he seems to want to wait before any move. The issue is Onana must leave first, and he cost over 50 million net. So managing this new signing is complex, and timing will be crucial in the transfer.
Okay, cool. Interesting. It looks like Onana will leave Man United if there is any money to get a second goalkeeper.
His performance wasn't great, but you know that better than me. We must seriously consider the dry meat option since there have definitely been discussions behind the scenes with all parties involved. We need to reach roughly the 60 million mark to secure him, so it's something we must definitely follow closely, trying to see if this deal will actually develop over the coming weeks. Also, just to say the relations between the clubs are excellent, not just for Højlund and other deals, but because last summer United representatives made a surprise visit to Zingonia specifically to discuss Ederson. Ederson's deal is far from over or dead, with Al Hilal also involved in the discussions, so it's very much still ongoing and something to watch closely. He costs around 60 million. Last summer, Manchester United offered about 50, but now there are other targets on the horizon. What I can tell you for sure is that Manchester United and Atalanta are currently in talks, and we'll have to wait and see if anything significant develops from these discussions in the near future.
Wow, that is a big bomb, Alfredo. That's definitely one to watch then. Before we round up the show with the striker position, we're talking about Viktor Gyökeres and the mystery striker who United are linked to. We will take a small break and ask you a kind favor. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Smash the like button right now. All right, then I really hope you smash the like button. Let's dive into the final question, the most asked question. I want to dive into the striker situation, as Bryan Mbeumo is almost a done deal. Let's talk about the latest report on Viktor Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon. We've seen it this week, reports claiming that he's not yet been a bid from Arsenal or Man United. Benjamin Sesko seems most likely Arsenal number one target if they can get the price down from 80 million to 70 million. Gyökeres has not said yes to either clubs, as per my understanding, and the agent and Sporting Lisbon are trying to resolve the bidding price. This so-called gentleman's agreement, or actually agreement made with Gyökeres' agent and ex-sporting director Hugo Viana, Gyökeres could leave this summer for £55 million plus 10 add-ons. There seems to be a deadlock as the player is forcing the move. Alfredo, what is the current situation, and do you think Gyökeres have the winning hand?
The war goes on. I gotta tell you this, the football transfer war, which sadly the world has bigger issues. It's pretty much the same battle involving Nico Williams, mainly Athletic Bilbao, Barcelona, and the whole La Liga situation. It's pretty much the same story, not much has changed there. There's this agent who's very adamant about sticking to a promise made for Gyökeres. He insists that a former sporting director, who's no longer with the club, had guaranteed a 30% discount of the 100 million release clause. But the current president couldn't care less about that promise. He's just focused on getting as much money as possible. So, as you can imagine, the situation is completely deadlocked, very much like what happened with Nico Williams. Regarding Sesko, I think, given that maybe United could still make a move in this transfer window, but Gyökeres has always had United firmly in his mind. And if he's truly been thinking about Arsenal, it means someone gave him the impression there was a real chance to go there, beyond his strong bond with Amorim, the Man United coach. But these are two football transfer wars. I'm talking about Williams and Gyökeres. We've got to be careful. What I can tell you is that Sesko's asking price currently, to my knowledge, is no less than 75-80 million.
Okay, big bomba. That's very interesting in regards to Gyökeres. I definitely think that would be a very dragged on story. The Gyökeres story will have many twists and turns and dragged out this summer. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up, hopefully to Man United. Well, Alfredo, let's round it up. Let's talk about the mystery bonus question. Alfredo, is there any other striker surprise that is on Manchester United radar? I hear something about Moise Kean from Fiorentina for £40 million. Is there any truth in this, Alfredo?
No, Ken definitely has a release clause worth 52 million, which applies both in Italy and abroad and is set to be triggered very soon. Importantly, I want to emphasize that Ken hasn't seriously entertained anger or frustration as an option, despite receiving a few inquiries here and there. I don't have any concrete information about Manchester United's plans right now. But keep in mind, whenever there's a clause like this, it means a club just needs to step up, pay it, and maybe move quickly to secure the deal. So we'll have to watch closely as things develop. In the background, today, Ken's happy at Fiorentina. If Ken changes his mind, I'll make sure to inform you right away. So far, he hasn't asked to leave, despite being offered a lot of money by Anguissa, and Ken firmly shut the door on that option. Today, I genuinely feel that Ken is happy in Florence. Of course, I'm not inside his head, so if tomorrow he decides otherwise, who knows? But for now, Fiorentina is acting as if Ken is their starting striker for the next season. They recently signed Gyökeres, which adds some competition, but Gyökeres doesn't rule out Ken's role on the team. We'll just have to wait and see how things play out in the coming weeks and months.
Wow. Okay, but it's still early days and anything could happen in the transfer market. Alfredo, I would like to thank you so much for coming on the show again. Please let the viewers know where they can find you on your socials. And I wish you all the best, and we should see you to the next time. Ciao, Alfredo, and thank you so much.
I really enjoyed this segment as it lets me share ideas with you all. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss updates or news. The more of us, the better the conversations and info we share. Thanks for being here and see you next time. Ciao a tutti.
Grazie mille, Alfredo. Molte bene. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, this is the end of this transfer show. I really hope that you enjoyed what you heard, and you keep coming back to MUFC Real Estate TV channel. You heard it from the big man, what he said. Like, subscribe, smash that like button, and do leave a comment. Also hit the bell notification so you never miss the next episode or when we go live. This has been Mick Ruby and Alfredo Pedullà and the latest Manchester United transfer news. Please stay beautiful, stay calm, and we should see you to the next Sunday with Alfredo Pedullà. Update. Glory, glory, Manchester United. We are out of here. Ciao.